So there's been some news going around that the Dolphins would prefer to trade Reshad Jones. This didn't totally surprise me really, but I can still see how this would be a questionable move. So, is this smart, or is this seriously a terrible mistake? Well, a little bit of both in my opinion. I'll go over why that is, and then at the end I'll say overall what I lean more towards. So first, I'm going to go over why this would be a bad move. So Reshad Jones has been with us for a little while now, and he's a veteran safety. And I think he's actually kind of become one of the best in the league. I think his biggest strength is his strength. This dude is an amazing tackler. He had 135 tackles in his breakout 2015 campaign. And really, besides Jarvis Landry, I think he was kind of our biggest highlight that year. Not just that year, but other years too. He's had really key tackles, especially this play against the Bears in 2018. Chicago decides to go for it on 4th down, and it seriously looked like they had a really easy first down. But Reshad Jones is right there to make one of the best tackles I've ever seen, really, and that ends the Bears' drive. What a play! Now, he's also a very smart player. All of his interceptions since 2015 have been great reads and plays by him. There's really only been one pick since then that the ball was swatted or it was just maybe a bad play by the offense. This play against the Falcons is also a play that I think stands out. Now, yes, Cordea Tankersley is the one that swats the ball away from Austin Hooper, but this is still a good play by him if you look closely. Jones smartly reads the pass, comes towards Austin Hooper, and because Cordea Tankersley swatted it, he's right there to make the interception. And Jones not only picks the ball off, but he seals the game. He's an extremely physical safety, and especially now that he's a veteran, he can outsmart a lot of opponents. But as great as he is, I can understand how a trade would benefit this team. For one, he's in his 30s now, and for a rebuilding team, he wouldn't really be a long-term piece. So by the time we have a good young roster, he'll be either ready to retire or he'll be out of his prime probably. And then we'll just have a hole at safety. Now, notice that the Dolphins are only keeping their young players. They went out, traded Ryan Tannehill, and got Josh Rosen, extended Xavier Howard's contract, released Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake, and now they want to trade Reshad Jones. So they're Dolphin fans. It's proof that just because they got a quarterback doesn't mean they're not rebuilding anymore. They are trying to get a young, long-term roster so that they don't just compete for the playoffs in 2019, they actually try to win Super Bowls in the future. But anyway, I can see this trade also happening because Reshad Jones is also missing out in a lot of practices and OTAs. Not just this year, that's kind of been a thing for him. And despite the fact that he got paid, he still does this. He decided to sit out the rest of the Jets game because of some argument he had with the coaches that game too. So I think maybe they see him as kind of like a slight locker room problem as well. Now, he's not the worst player when it comes to that. There's players that are way worse, but he does always have holdouts seemingly every year, so it kind of makes sense for Brian Flores to want to get away from that. Overall, I can see how this would be bad, and another thing maybe they should think about is maybe keep him there to kind of teach and kind of coach the younger safeties like Minkah Fitzpatrick, but he's still in his prime. So if we trade him now, we could actually probably get a pretty good deal out of it with a lot of teams. And that would make our 2020 offseason look even better. Think about all the cap space and the picks we'll have. So while I do like him, I can definitely see that this move would actually really benefit us. Think of the future, Dolphin fans. I don't want to just compete for the playoffs in 2019 that we're probably not going to get anyway. Our team is just clearly not going to compete. We're not ready. Let's build so that we can be ready to compete in the future and try to actually win Super Bowls.